Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you back to another episode in what we call the coaching experience. And this is where we want to help you be a coach and teach others how that they can make their mark in life today. And today we ask, what makes a person great? And that's a coaching guide to help people define the challenge of personal greatness and how to seek it. So, let's begin and discover where that will take us. Greatness is not where we stand, but in what direction we are moving. Oliver Wendell Holmes. Now, the question before us, because the question I often begin a coaching conversation with business people, leaders, and entrepreneurs, and the question surprises them. I say, do you want to be great? Now, usually the response is a perplexed look and a question of their own, such as, well, what do you mean by that? Or such a comment as, well, it all depends on what you're talking about. You see, most people are reluctant to go into such a conversation without a lot of questions and qualifications. For many, their reluctance stems from the belief that such a conversation would be a sign of arrogance or self-importance, and they do not want to make any such claims or entertain any such aspirations. That's true. Others don't know if they would want to go through all the work and the difficulty and responsibility that pursuing greatness would require. Others just do not aspire to any such thing and might wonder about the character and compassion of anyone who would seek to be great or be the greatest. Yes, it is a rough road that leads to the insights of greatness. Lucius Annaeus Seneca. Yes. The call to greatness brings forth more confusion than clarity. In another coaching guide, I identify the call to greatness as one of the areas that the coach should explore with his or her client. The client, exercising his or her ongoing choice and freedom, can decide whether greatness should be on their agenda. And the guide is written with the conviction that the subject of greatness is a useful and indeed a worthwhile conversation that we should have in the coaching experience. It is a guide to holding that conversation through clarification, definition, direction, questioning, and storytelling. And you should use it in your own life and business planning. You can use it as a way to help others heighten their aspirations. And you can use it to help you and them define the challenges to be met in order to seek greatness. And it will give you some of the key questions that give the client insight, definitions, and directions that can lead him in their personal pursuit of greatness. Most importantly, it can help people make the decision about greatness and whether it is a worthy pursuit. Of course, we begin with an illustration, a story of greatness, a great person. My friend Helen is great. She is no longer young. In fact, she is a grandmother. She is not wildly rich or famous. She lives in a small city and seldom travels more than 50 miles from her home. Her life has not been easy, but she would tell you that she has been blessed. Many years ago, she was a young single mother with few financial resources. She put herself through college while supporting herself and her child. She learned the insurance business as a hard-working assistant. She remarried and had other children. She continued on. She left the secure job as an employee and started her own insurance agency. She struggled against the gender barrier in the industry. It was scary, and there were hard times when she wondered if she would ever make it. She has survived and thrived. But instead of settling back to enjoy her achievements and a six-figure income and take it easy, Helen is risking it all, again, to start a new business in a growing but highly competitive industry. She has developed innovative ideas, pursued investors, and worked extremely hard. And as of this writing, as of this presentation, the new venture is still an open question. But that is not the issue. Helen is on the path to greatness because greatness is a path. Greatness is achieved by following a very personal path. There is not a clear, well-marked road to greatness. There are no recipes, formulas, or systems that you can find. There are time management and sales systems that will help you be more effective and productive, but that is not necessarily the key to greatness. There are investment strategies that may make you very wealthy, but that is not greatness. Greatness is not about wealth or being well known or wielding power over others. Those things may come to people of greatness, but they are not the mark of greatness. Greatness is greater than that. So, with the question at hand, the story in mind, and these simple claims as a forward, I suggest a few thoughts and markers on what makes a person great to guide you and others down that path that you must clear and find for yourself. You see, greatness lies not in being strong, but in the right using of strength. And strength is not used rightly when it serves only to carry a man or a woman above his fellows for his own solitary glory. He is the greatest whose strength carries up the most hearts by the attraction of his own. Henry Ward Beecher. You start with passion. Now, passion has many meanings, but when it comes to greatness, passion is the source of energy. Life is difficult, and there are many things that distract us, take our energy, steal our joy. Passion is that strong, emotional, spiritual, ardent feeling that we have when we seek something deeply. Great people come to a place in their lives where they desire something stronger than money, fame, or power. They find a cause, a concern, a challenge to change something in their life, their community, maybe their industry, even their world. And they cannot, nor do they have any desire to shake it off. Passion is something so compelling that there is no resting until they pursue it. Always remember, you have within you the strength, the patience, and the passion to reach for the stars to change the world. Harriet Tubman. The object of their passion for truly passionate people goes beyond themselves and their own well-being. Think of Mother Teresa and her concern for the poor and dying of Calcutta, which spread to the whole world. Steve Jobs believed that a personal computer could change the world by making every individual as powerful as any corporation. Abraham Lincoln saw the preservation of the American Union and the defeat of slavery as central to the saving of civilization. Now, these are just some well-known people of passion. Passion also refers to suffering. In spiritual writing and music, there are references to the passion of Jesus. Now, these refer to his suffering and death. Passion is such a deep desire that a person of passion will offer suffer to bring it into reality, to things that she and he are seeking. So, do you have a deep desire for change and achievement that can only be described as a passion? Now, clarity brings greater confidence. It is reported when the great transcendental thinkers and writers, Henry David Thoreau and Ralph Waldo Emerson, would meet and greet, they often said, "Since we last met, what is clear to you now?" Passion brings forth strong emotions and motivation. Now, clarity gives our passion strong direction and ways to take action. Clarity helps us, in the words of the great theologian St. Paul of Tarsus, forgetting what is behind this one thing I do. Clarity comes with simplicity. Brendan Burchard. Clarity comes to us when we are very aware of what we want from our passionate state of mind, what is going on all around us, and what we can do, and then what we should do next. Clarity of mind about what is important increases our focus and reduces our fears in every situation. Greater focus leads to less fear, and they come from the discipline of asking, what is clear to me now? So, do you practice a discipline that leads to greater clarity about your purpose, your goals, and the effectiveness of your actions? You have to believe. Some years ago, there was a pop singer group that had an ordinary song with a great title. It was, I'm a Believer. It reminds us of what we need to do to go further down the path to greatness. We need to believe. Modern research and ancient wisdom confirm that deep convictions, strong beliefs, and drawing strength from your values are not only the keys to living well, they are fundamental to greatness. People on the path to greatness know that we all worship something, and we had better give close attention to the ultimate allegiances that we have. The heroes and heroines that many of us have and who made a great impact on history are people who live and even die by their beliefs. Martin Luther King Jr. was influenced by the beliefs of Mahatma Gandhi, who was influenced by the great religious traditions and beliefs of the world, and a man named Howard Thurman. We've always held to the hope, the belief, the conviction that there is a better life, a better world beyond the horizon. Franklin D. Roosevelt, that was part of him. A book by Jagdish Seth and Andrew Sobel entitled Clients for Life, How Great Professionals Develop Great Breakthrough Relationships, describes the qualities found in great advisors and great counselors. They insist that historical and professional research shows that powers of conviction are fundamental to greatness. They say, when you know what you stand for and feel strongly about, you become a confident, convincing, and persuasive individual. Greatness requires that we become people of conviction and persuasion. Have you ever taken a time out to write a statement of your beliefs and values? Ever done that? Are you seeking ways to let people know that on the important issues of life, you indeed are a believer? Tough times are part of the plan. I looked him right in the eye and said, remember, adversity is part of the plan. It was a coaching reminder of a personal truth that has been confirmed by many colleagues and many of my clients. Success in any worthwhile endeavor comes through hard work and persistence in the face of great difficulty. Leaders who are worth following and who have the wisdom to make good decisions have been through the fire, for sure. If you live long enough, you'll make mistakes. But if you learn from them, you'll be a better person. It's how you handle adversity, not how it affects you. The main thing is never quit, never quit, never quit. Think about that. The man on the other side of the table was a small business owner. He was seeking to understand how he could get through the high anxiety of his present situation. He wanted to stop working in his business so much and to start working on his business and being a leader of that business. He heard my comment, looked up and smiled and said, that explains it then. Well, it may be easily explained, but it is not easy to endure. Disappointment, discouragement, and defeat are all a part of the pathway to greatness. As Scott Peck said in his classic book, The Road Less Traveled, life is difficult. Indeed it is. And greatness comes only to those who do not flee from that which is fearful and difficult, but who smile and embrace it as, that's right, part of the plan. Do you believe that true greatness only comes to those who persevere when the going gets tough? Do you have friends, colleagues, and coaches to support you through the adversity that will come your way? Fear kills everything. He looked me right in the eye from across the table and said, "Don't you know? Fear kills everything." He was a high-performing professional who left his job to start his own company. He was explaining his decision and how others had discouraged him by bringing up all the dangers in such a decision. So he said it to me and to reassure himself. You see, fear stifles our thinking and actions. It creates indecisiveness that results in stagnation. I have known talented people who procrastinate indefinitely rather than risk failure. Lost opportunities cause erosion of confidence, and the downward spiral begins. Charles Stanley pointed that out to us. Yes, he was so right. Fear does kill everything. It kills hopes, dreams, goals, and relationships. It kills greatness. One of the great themes of all our spiritual traditions is fear not. Inevitably, all of us will face choices where we choose between danger and uncertainty as we pursue our hopes and dreams and seek to do something significant. Great people have come to the point in the path where they have the faith to trust providence, trust others, trust ethical processes, and eventually trust themselves. They know that failure will not kill them, and they can learn from every mistake, so they go ahead and try. They understand the truth that all greatness knows. It is all comes down to courage. So as the biblical angels say, don't be afraid. So do you have a thoughtful strategy and life-affirming practices for dealing with your fears, worry, and anxiety? Embrace the power of paradox. Successful people who achieve spiritual depth and pursue greatness understand and embrace the power of paradox in our human experience. A paradox is an assertion, a statement that seems contradictory, even to common sense, yet may in fact be true. Years ago, Jesus of Nazareth said that to be great, you had to become the least important of all. But it would appear that to be the least is the exact opposite of the greatest. That's the paradox. I have found the paradox that if you love until it hurts, there can be no more hurt, only more love. Mother Teresa said that. The lives of many great thinkers and leaders testify to giving power to others is the best way to have power and influence yourself. Often a leader who has the courage and transparency to admit his weakness and insufficiency becomes the strongest and most sufficient in the field. That too is a part of the courage involved and the power involved in embracing paradox. When Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi asserted that nonviolent resistance could be a greater and more powerful force than violent aggression, they were embracing the power of paradox. The power to embrace paradox and trust the power therein as a moral and spiritual discipline that can lead a person to greatness. You now begin to see the power and point of embracing paradox as a profound truth and seek ways to be guided by that understanding. If you do, there is a final truth to take on. and take action on. Great is small. Great leaders learn the power of the paradox that says small things lead to great results. It is a small courtesy that often has the greatest impact. It is the small discipline that leads to greater dedication and leverage results. It is committing small acts of courage that lead us to be fearless. People who seek to do only the great things seldom do. But those who seek to live a life where they perform small acts based on a deep passion, who take time every week to renew their clarity and reduce their confusion, who put every action through the test of their convictions and faced every adversity with greater courage, find greatness. Be faithful in small things, because it is in them that your strength lies. Mother Teresa, once again, greatness. So my coaching challenge to you is this: resolve every week to commit a small act of greatness. If you do, it will go well with you. Indeed. Why don't you think about that? Let it sit on your head, perhaps stir your mind, and touch your heart, because that's where it all will come from. So I'd encourage you, ask yourself the question, do you want to be great? Well, what do you want to be great at? What are you going to do to achieve that greatness? How are you going to help others? Because helping others will be vital to true greatness. There's a lot to it. And first of all, you have to decide what it is and if you want it. And then, as we tried to do today, give you a way to start on the path that you make on your own, the path to true greatness. All the best and blessings on you if you take that path, and you will need the best and the blessings to do so. And so we wish you all the best. Take care. It's a long journey, but it could be worthwhile. And we're here as part of the coaching experience to always help you do your best as you do the path work. Till our next episode, bye for now. Please reach out to me, Stan Houston, at stan@witradio.net. Witradio.net is our website, and 520-664-7002 USA.